What's going on YouTube? Is Lonely Lone. I'm back again with another breakdown, and we're gonna do today some sexy songs for you. The new Drake album with Party Next Door just dropped, and with all this hype after the Super Bowl, he seems like he dropped this outside of trying to be on top. It seems like he really just trying to get back in his music bag. In my point of view, it doesn't seem like it was motivated from the beef with Kendrick and trying to top him. But we're gonna get into these songs, see if it is some ulterior motives in there, see if it's really Drake coming back and getting on his saddle, getting back on the road. I heard it a couple times already, so I'm gonna tell y'all how I think and what I think is the future for him and his career. So let's get it. Mind you, I can't play the songs. I'm not costing that or anybody else that's a big streamer or YouTuber. I'm gonna get my stuff taken down. That copyright of UMG of hell is gonna hit me, and my channel gonna get striked. So what I'm gonna do is maybe play snippets of it, possibly, but really I'm gonna go through the lyrics and give you a breakdown of it, of the songs and what I think in a review. So first we got CN Towers, right? So this song felt like it was on a visual of like on some Toronto stuff, like trying to give you a visualization comparing their emotions and their love to their girl, to their partner, to the mood of the city. I think it was a very good depict of similar vibe to Views to me, especially with this album cover. I'm guessing this is a location in downtown Toronto, so it gives you that visualization of how they feel inside. I think the lyrics was dope, especially when he gets to the part over here when he starts off the song saying, "The city is pretty when it's dead, just like a flower. What colors with the CM Towers is red tonight, just like the text I sent you from the bed tonight." And it was just poetic to me. It was really good metaphor, symbolism, everything you would want for a love song. This is Valentine's Day, and I want y'all to keep in mind the concept of the album, right? So when I'm talking about this album, don't try to go off into like what Drake used to be or what he's doing now or whatever. Take into account why he made the album, the reasoning for the title of the album, Some Sexy Songs for You, and why he dropped it at this moment on Valentine's Day. So we gotta take in all that when we judging the album. Okay, this is coming from an artist. So starts off the song setting the tone of the album. It seems like a personal one-on-one relationship to who's ever seeing it. I mean, hearing this album, mainly for girls, obviously, right? And he's talking to a girl, his love interest, and this sets the tone of the album. It's real sexy, moody, romantic, vulnerable, poetic, right? Everything that is Valentine's-y, right? And then you go down and it's still Drake, so he drops little cunning bars, like in the first line he says, no, the second line, I'm sorry, like a tiny house out back, I'm trying to shed some light. Now when he's singing, the thing about R&B, you don't hear bars in R&B that much. You just hear simple bars, surface level bars, so you can feel the emotions and don't have to really dig that deep into it, right? But he's a rapper, so he likes to do play on words, metaphors, and symbolism. So he's comparing like a tiny house out back. I'm trying to shed some light. You know what I'm saying? Basically like a shed out back of a house, shedding like a dim light in the background of her life. You know what I'm saying? That might be dark at nighttime. Like it's little stuff like that give me chills as a songwriter. Like this was a beautiful line, and it's setting the tone for the vibe of the song. You know what I'm saying? It's real slow, sensual, real direct, real intimate, right? And the contrast between Party Next Door and Drake's verses on this part really complement each other with the beat, because this is a Party Next Door S beat, something that he probably would produce himself, write to himself. And when anytime Drake and Party get on the track together, it's usually a classic. But this is the first time we get to judge them together in a complete collaborative project, right? Because every song they get on is usually a banger. It is a banger, you know what I'm saying? So this is already a good sign. You know what I'm saying? They mesh well. It sounds good. It's poetic. It's subtle, it's sensual, it's it's on point, right? So we on a good track. Next song, Mothballs. I think the track is appalling. I'm a visual person, so when I visualize things, I can smell, see, feel everything, right? So when I see mothballs, it already turned me off. Like if you know the smell of mothballs, and it's like a little white ball, and then you relate it to a insect, it's not an appealing title for an R&B song. You know what I'm saying? Um, so off the bat, when I first initially saw the title of the song, before even playing it, I thought it was going to be like a rap song, maybe something rigid, um, something kind of like having some contrast to it, maybe like starting off slow then going hard in the paint later on. But it was it's a slow song. So you start out, it starts off with like a sensual, Drake likes to do these sensual, female vocal samples, in between, creating space, creating an atmosphere for you to calm down and get into the mood, right? And it's really calming. Uh, he comes in with a and the first bar is mothballs, right? As a songwriter, that's pretty generic. I'm be honest, like starting off the song with mothballs. But hey, I've done that before. Sometimes you want to just get straight to the point. Name the song, the first thing that popped in your head. Don't want to spend too much time on the title. I think he should have probably went with another title, but that's just my personal preference. Um, so he says mothballs. I can't get the smell out of my clothes. Why are we using mothballs in 2025? I don't know. That's like a 1960s, 70s type thing. I don't even think I've ever seen moths eat clothes before. So this is like putting me back in a time where it's like a contemporary R&B track, but it's making me think about the 60s for some reason when he says that. And he says YYZ racing because the gate about to close. Drake throws these puns in there with references to stuff we don't know anything about. Like he'll drop like a location in a West Bubba Island that we never heard about, and we gotta look it up. So Drake always been that person to drop like a bar with something we never heard of, or is a very niche audience that will know what it is or understand what it is. Like I don't even know what YYZ is. He throws that throughout the song with like little puns like that, and then he also throws like random names. Like I said, I left Candace, now my heart might explode. I thought he said Candy in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Um, to be honest, this track and even some songs like from Her Lost and Certified Lover Boy, I think it started with Certified Lover Boy. His mixing, I don't know if anybody noticed it. His mixing on some tracks, the vocals sound very crunchy, and it sounds like it doesn't sound very pleasant to the ear for me. The mixing sounds like it could have been done better on this track. We'll go through that some more. But the mixing kind of made it unappealing. The beat is really good. The beat has like a deep kind of 808, but the 808 is like a boom boom, so it got a little synthesizer with it underneath. Um, the beat is beautiful. The mixing is kind of iffy. But Party comes in and they switch the beat up. Um, that's pretty much what they do for the whole album. So this is the first time you actually kind of hear that is on the second song, and Party comes in and it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna be honest, this song really didn't make sense to me. Um, he comes in with like the sexy tones, the sex talk, Party next door, like every female loves the sensual aspect, the sexy aspect. He says she from Michigan, but she tastes like water. And again with the visualization, because everybody knows that Michigan has a water problem. Um, I don't know if this is like messed up, but also at the same time a bad visual. Because when you think of Michigan, you think of Flint, and you think of brown water, and you think of like sad black community. But he referenced like she's from Michigan, but she tastes like water. I don't know if that's what he was trying to reference. Seems a little bit like, ooh, too soon, my boy. Like that was a little jab at Michigan. But at the same time, it's like, so you saying she from Michigan and you expected her to taste like metallic copper. Like I don't get it. Like you know what I'm saying? She tastes like water, so it's like the cleanest water. You know what I'm saying? It's like clean as this cup. I I'm gonna be honest. The songwriting was kind of subpar on this part. Um, the vibe of the song is good. I can still listen to the song. I don't know about the replay value on it for me personally, but it's still a vibe. If you getting used to this track, warming you up. This is like a warm up track, right? Um, then Drake comes back in with the beat switch up. I've been peeking off that Addy every day. It's been hard for me to put that away. Drinking drinking 4 or 5 bottles of that wine. Got a glass in my hand every time. So when Drake comes back in with his verse, he kind of saves the song because the only part that was really drew me in was the melody that Drake had in the beginning, and then Party's melody when he said, "But it tastes like water, like that was catchy, right? But Drake's verse kind of okay. This is cool. I can listen to this part again. You know what I'm saying? And the topic didn't match the. I don't see anything. I can't see any attachment to the mothballs except the closed part. So this song was like a 6 out of 10 for me. So this leads into the next song, Something About You. Now we getting into something that feels like the substance of the track, the song, the title of the album. We're getting into the first surface level visualization of what this album was really conceptually made out of, right? And the beat is really euphoric. You know what I'm saying? It switches back and forth, kind of in your ear with the synthesizer. It's just like a 1/16th type of repetitive process. Like it's like and it's just really soothing, right? Like it's like massaging your brain a little bit, and it puts you in like a little trance. For me, the mixing, bro, I don't know what it is. He might be on the road and recording maybe in his tour bus in a hotel, so I can understand it's really hard to really focus that sound and get out a lot of that low end. Um, but man, for me, Drake's voice performs very well when it's mixed, like how it sounds on Views, how it sounded on Take Care, how it sounded on Dark Lane demo tape. But even Tusi Slide was like the first time I heard the mix was like very subpar, like poor quality, and it really made his voice sound thin and crunchy, and I didn't really like that. I didn't really like how it sounded on Tusi Slide. Really catchy song, but it sounded really rushed, like the mixing process. And that's been the process like going forward. I don't know if that's his new mixing style, but it doesn't sound like a 40 mix. You know what I mean? You know when it's a 40 mix. You know what I'm saying? Where it just sits well like jungle or something like that. I love the flow on this. It's like melodic, consistent. It's like, go work and she ain't at home. Meet you at lunch and let you know. You got money and man, ain't even know. Bingo. Be out the show. I love that. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like a post Satan type of flow. It's really catchy. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? And he does that throughout. And then he comes in with the hook, right? And it's something about something about something about some. But he's making it like almost like when Lil Bow Wow used to do that skipping with his voice when he was like Lil Bow Wow, but it wasn't like in the edit, like it wasn't in the mixing where they skipped it or chopped and screwed. He's doing it himself. I like those versions better. So it was a really catchy hook. So there is a beat switch up on Party's voice, Party's verse, but it's only the drums, and I love that about Drake. Like if you notice Drake's music, sometimes he'll take the first half, sample the synths or the instruments from the first half, and reverse it or add little like glitches or effects to the same synth, same instruments, but create a whole different beat inside the song with the same synth. and just change up the kick pattern completely, right? That's like Drake's, like that's like the most monumental, I think, form of music that he has done with his craft. Was his just way to create two different stories in one song, right? Two different sides, two different sounds, and that's the OVO sound basically, right? That's what the OVO sound is. And a lot of old school sampling, R&B sampling, etc. It comes in with that party hard kick, subtle 808, but hard kick, and party's raspy voice comes in. It is really like, just if you like Party Next Door, the second half of this song is for you for sure. So this song right here, Crying in Chanel. Love the title, by the way. Great title. I think this is probably one of the best titles he had for this album. Cause it just is, especially with the lyrics. When you see the lyrics, it just makes sense. Um, but off the back, but off the back, I'm gonna just be honest. When you first hear it, it's like shocking. It sounds a little bit raspy. It sounds a little bit kind of off with the beat pattern. So you kind of get thrown off. You kind of think it's kind of bad. Like you think the song is kind of bad at first, cause he's singing over this like boom boom boom, like it sounds like it doesn't make a lot of sense. But I'm gonna be real. After listening to this song like over and over again, it's very, you you end up liking it. Like it's one of those songs you have to keep playing over and over again, and you'll get used to liking it. Um, I love the 20 bands your mind, 20 bands your mind. I like that. I like that melody. Is really catchy. It's really sensual. Fits the mood again. Like we're on the fourth track, and it's making sense. I don't hear any off sounds. Some of the lyrics might be, the concept of the lyrics might be off, but the sound is very consistent and the concept is very consistent, and that's what you want. You want things to make sense, and this is one of them songs where it does it. And as we look through the lyrics, the song makes sense with the title. As a songwriter, for me, that's beautiful. I love that connection when I can see the title, listen to the song, and everything just makes sense. It just doesn't block up anything analytically for me, creatively, when I could just let it flow. And that's what he does. If you look at the lyrics, right? He starts out with saying, "We both lied cause we scared. If I didn't care, I'd hold back a lot more from you. But I'm open and that's real." Right? When I met you, you was in the club serving bottles, working for Mickey, moving to Keezy, had to tell you go on easy. I could tell you love your prized possessions. What's your favorite? Bust down watches, Cuban leaks, Van Cleef necklace, Cardi bracelet. After all those stressed out nights, public fights, all you got to show for that is sentimental gifts that you just can't part ways with. Bro, he's spitting, bro. And the thing is, if you get thrown off by the beat and you skip it, you miss out on this. You miss out on this like beautifully written song, because he's basically talking about the sentimental values of his gifts not meaning anything because their love is being tainted. Their love is being challenged. And now all of that stuff doesn't really feel like it means anything anymore, right? And then he goes down and says, even if I replace it, you just can't part ways with it. Say you went through too much for it. You had to fake fall in love for it. And it's driving me crazy. Sentimental gifts that you just can't part ways with. Right? And then you go into his ego, right? He talks about how he kind of feels offended, how it's like, dang, like I bought all this stuff for you, or you know what I'm saying, like you upset. I'll just buy you something else. He's like, and then this flow right here is crazy too, cause he's like, I'll buy you, I'll buy you something better for you. Ever point something out, I'll give for you. Ever put that price on your love. 10 bands your mind, 20 bands your mind. You know what I'm saying? And I think this is a song that is vulnerable for Drake, because I think everybody knows it's hard for him to find love. He's a hopeless romantic. He always talks about how he's like can't find anybody that's worth his time. And if he does fall in love, it seems like it falls on deaf ears, and it's no reasoning to continue. and he just showing how sometimes desperate he gets uh being in love, you know what I'm saying? And trying to fight for love because now he's kind of been jaded from the lifestyle he's been influenced by, having to trick out on girls and do all this other stuff, right? Because he thinks that's what they want. Then he go down, he's gonna skip down to verse 2, and he says, Shawty right here crying in the middle of Chanel. Are those tears of joy from your eyes? I can't tell. And this part, he switches up the beat. So now it's like kind of almost like a instrumental acoustic where there's no drums. And um it's a higher pitched tone, and he's professing what's really going on. Like this embarrassing moment that connects the whole meaning of the song. And then he brings back a beautiful just sample, like, just like a sample like he did basically like in More Life throughout the album. You can hear like I just wanna ride with you. Oh yeah, and this song reminds me of Crew Love. Like I didn't like Crew Love in the beginning either. And it's like like it was really abrupt in the beginning, but it's an R&B song. So Drake does a really good job doing those type of contrasts with like avant-garde type S beats, but making it R&B. So this was a really good track. Now this is the best song on the album. I play this song 5 times a day since it's been out. I swear, I promise. Everything I love. This song, I don't know what it is, and I did it past the sleep test too. Just you know how like you put a album or a song on repeat while you go to sleep because it's see if it's soothing or to help you calm down or, bro, pass with flying, bro. Not even just this though. Pretty much half the album I put on repeat going to sleep, bro. It passed the test, right? It's a very calming. It does something to your brain, right? This song does something to my brain every time. I just like, bro, like Spider-Man, Superman. It's simple concept, very easy to grasp. The beat, you just melt into the beat when you hear it, especially with that guitar. Doom 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 doom. Anytime you hear that type of riff, it's just it does something. It doesn't matter what song it is. It just reminds me of like some traditional R&B, like some 90s 2000s R&B like Lauryn Hill or Music Soul Child. You know what I'm saying? Like it just D'Angelo, and then it comes in with the Aaliyah type, Timberland type drum pattern with the but I can't, bro. I love this song. And Party showed out on this song. Songwriting on Party's end. He probably wrote this song. It was just phenomenal. Like, look, right? But I wish I could save you, but I can't. And I love this line. This is the line that really just caught me, right? And it's really not the lyrics. It's the way he rides into right up until the kick coming. Right before that. And so you hear that dun 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 save you, but I can, and he drops it quick. She's like, but I can, and drops it, and then the kick comes right after. That like little subtle things like that make it unique. Like that's the mind of Drake. That's the brilliancy of Drake. Those little things. Party Next Door too. Party knows how to do that as well. How to play with the beat, how to play with the pockets. It's just so playful and fun and new and exciting to the ear. The lyrics isn't too crazy. It's really straightforward. Cause girl, you got the power in your hands. Look at you. It looking at you do it with no hands. How could you admire a man that don't even come nice to the dance? It's simple lyrics. Nothing too crazy about the lyrics. Same thing with Party. You know what I'm saying? Party comes in and just he actually goes more into a heartbreak, like a love song, like a heartbreak love song, right? This was like an epitome of every nigga feeling when they lose a girl and you picture her, when y'all was intimate, and it makes you want to go back even though you know it's over. You know what I'm saying? that feeling of intimacy, connection, that bond. You know what I'm saying? And you at the bar drinking, or you with your boys drinking at the crib, and that all you can think about is her. You playing some Party Next Door and Drake, and it's making it worse. And you like, Lord have mercy, Jesus. You gonna end up somewhere in a coma by the end of the night drinking. You need to chill. Deeper. Uh, very simple. Song's really good. Very just straight straight to the point. You know, bread and butter. A Party Next Door. When you think of Party Next Door, this is what you get. Top tier song. He excels with this type of beat. Deep sub bass, hard kick, uh, really soft piano, synthesizer piano. You know what I'm saying? Really light. You know what I'm saying? And then the hard kick behind it. You know, this is Chef's Kiss. You know what I'm saying? Really simple. We don't need to lyrics. Pretty simple, straightforward. It's just put it in the other catalog with all his other bangers. Um, definitely recommend it. I'll give it like, 8 out of 10. Just simple Party Next Door. Small town fame. So, first of all, let's point out the sample for this song. I want to know if anybody recognized it off Buck. Let me know down below. But he uses a sample that every black person in America should know about. Speak to my heart, Holy Spirit. And he used that first sample to when you hear that song come on, you know Jesus is in the room. Hello. Amen. Hallelujah. And it's so interesting to me about Drake. You really don't know him. Like, you know how they say you could tell a lot about a person what they listen to? Drake just be surprising me about how much music he consumes. Because he's Canadian, but he's also African American. He has a lineage of African American in his blood. His father's African American, right? So you can see the hints of his African American side come out in his music. And this is one of those moments where you like, shout out to Drake, bro. Happy Black History Month, man. My man is adding elements of our culture in his music. And I just love that, bro. Cause gospel is like the foundation of all black musicians in America. I don't know anything about Canada. I know they have foundational black Canadians that were slaves in Canada and that were actual, descendants, right, of Africans in Canada before the migration of Caribbeans and the Africans now. But just speaking from our experience, Drake does that a lot, where he'll take songs from Black America, from his background, and place it in his music. And it's just them subtleties that brings nostalgia and brings you connection and makes you feel at home. And this was one of those songs, man. Small Town Fame. Now, mind you, the content on this song, the lyrics on this song matching the vibe of the sample, I'm surprised it got cleared, because I know he had a problem with that other gospel or Christian comedian that he tried to sample, and it was like about sex, and the dude wouldn't clear it because he was like, nah, I'm Christian, like, chill. But hey, Donnie or his label, I guess, cleared it, and now we here we are. Beautiful song. This is a rap song, by the way. Little punches. Like, he's not a crazy lyricist, but he does some punchlines where you like, oh, this nigga, he a dog. Like, exfoliate that nigga with like he a scrub. Bar. Your new nigga pretend to be a man. He a stud. Oof. You know what I'm saying? Protect that I had you in was hitting like a floodlight. You know what I'm saying? It's them subtle punchlines about Drake. And that's what I like. He's not trying to be no spiritual, lyrical. He sits in his pocket where he's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? And then I love the transition between him rapping right here to I'm hating hard. I'm hating way too hard. Trying to express how vulnerable he is. This song reminds me of old Drake. Like, Nothing Was the Same Drake. You know what I'm saying? Vulnerable Drake, really hard on his sleeve Drake. Um, it's it's a 8 out of 10 for me. And I think it's just things where people don't really like the drug influences that Drake references in his songs because they feel like that's not him. But I feel like that is his lifestyle. At some point, you just gotta accept him for what he's saying in the song. Accept reality, bro. He's around drugs. He does drugs. But I'm not gonna be like, dang Drake, what's what's up, bro? Nah, bro. After 6 to 7, 8 years of him talking about drugs, it's time for y'all to wake up. The man is doing drugs. He's around drugs. So you either don't listen to the song, you know what I'm saying? You know what's gonna be expected now, bro. That's what it is. When it goes down to lost a lot of brothers to this dog ass game. What am I supposed to do with all that pain? Sleepless nights drawn out for days thinking about how wrong I played. I think this line right here, he's talking about the beef. I think this is the first kind of symbol that we get the beef, right? And we're trying to really feel out what is the problem. Because he's saying, what am I supposed to do with all that pain? Sleepless nights drawn out for days, thinking about how wrong I played. So is he like taking accountability right here? That's what I'm thinking. And he's talking about the game, talking about the rap game, obviously. He lost a lot of friends last year to that Kendrick stuff. 20v1, you know. And you could tell it's been really affecting him. And he's actually first time being vulnerable about how it's been feeling, you know, without no interview. He's telling you like, man, it was really messing with me that me and Future wasn't good, or me and so and so wasn't good anymore. And I had to call him out on the record, and it's supposed to be my brother. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that's the thing about Drake, bro. People can say what they want, but he's one of the most vulnerable artists of our time, and that's why he's respected. And he was respected by Kendrick back in the day. He was respected by all these people. Yay, that all these people that now have don't like who he is, or turned on him because of, you know, him as a person. They don't like now and who he's changed, I guess, to be. And even through all that, even through his change, even through his inconsistencies, his hypocrisies or whatever that his audiences are saying he is now, he still shows his vulnerability to the T. You know what I'm saying? And I think that is that's very courageous of an artist to do. Cause you can make music, no dig to Travis Scott, but you can make music like Travis Scott where you're never like letting people get past a certain limit. You only keeping them right here. You know what I'm saying? Keeping them right here. Stay in this pocket. This is all you need to know about me. Drake brings you into his whole world. Still does. Even if you don't like the song selection or song choice. Man, this song is probably my second or third favorite song. First is Spider-Man Superman. That's my favorite song. This might be the second. And it's not Draco Party on this track, right? But this girl Pim, oh my gosh, bro. She gives me chills. Like her vocals, I wish I could play this for y'all. Her vocals are like so raspy, and the thing is, the quality sounds like very like underwhelming, like poor. Like she recorded it in like some like snowball microphone or something, and it's acoustic, and it's a lot of like reverb in the background, and they put compressor. But she does that for all of her songs. Like if I went to go listen to her catalog, she was at like 33K, and after this album dropped, she's at 1.9 million monthly listeners. Like Drake be, bro, he be making people blow up, right? And the song title is called Pimmy's Dilemma, and it's very powerful because when she's talking about the strenuous dilemmas that we have in relationships where people want to still be going out and live like they single but in a committed relationship, and you have friends that single, they're not committed, and they want that they want that camaraderie of doing, you know, some promiscuous activities outside of the house, like they have loved ones, and they miss that camaraderie with you doing them activities. And she's like, man, your friends, they don't respect me. Bro, And it sounds simple, but when you hear the emotion in her voice and the actual like anxieties and insecurities she feels because her boyfriend is not respecting her boundaries is so deep, and it's acoustic, and it has like I think a subtle bass line in it, but it doesn't. I'm so glad they ain't have no drums in here, bro. It would have took away the song. It's acoustic, vocals, and just a plucked guitar line. It's beautiful, dog. This song is a 9 out of 10 for me, bro. Like hands down. And go check her out. Her name is Pim. She definitely got a new follow for me. And I love how Drake always takes artists that really is like underground or not. Like he be in the scene. Like he be finding people. Like he found what's his name, McConan. He found him on SoundCloud. He found Dave. Like he be having his ear to the streets for new music and great artists. And I think Drake in another lifetime would have been a great A&R, because the people he finds, especially the female vocalists he puts on his albums, it just he puts you onto some great R&B, some great soulful music. And I think that's just shout out to the woman he puts on his projects and lifts up and gives them careers, because they deserve it. Like Georgia Smith, Yibba, and now Pim. You know what I'm saying? Like shout out to Drake for that, bro. All right, here we go. First reference to appreciation for Thug. You know he loves Thug to the death. You know what I'm saying? So this is a song kind of paying tribute to Thug. Like he usually does that to his friends that he really cares about in the industry. He creates some type of song title around him, song in reference to them to respect them. And Brian Stills is Young Thug's lawyer. So he starts out by saying, "Shout out Brian Stills. I'm too geek for the guys. Yeah, whoa, I've been in the house, but I'm coming outside tonight." You know, basically going through the motions, basically telling her how he's gonna celebrate because Thug's hearing, and then he just goes into rapping. This song isn't really do too much for me. It's like 6.5 out of 10. But if you like that like kind of certified lover boy, her loss, rap Drake style, I'm not really into that much. But if you really like that, then this is a song for you. You know what I'm saying? He talks about the beef in here as well. He goes in here and says, "Broski hit me and said, put all the beef on the side. Wonder who that is, because I'm thinking all of OBO was like, man, F everybody. It's Toronto to die. We don't care about nobody." Um, but he must be talking about his boys in Atlanta, right? Like 2 Chainz, uh, 21, Future, Lil Yachty. You know what I'm saying? He's probably talking about all them guys, right? And he said, I'm heated now. Niggas want to meet up, talk about I'm vegan now. So I didn't really get that part, because doesn't vegan now mean that you want to squash the beef? Like you don't want the beef? Let's see what they say. Drake's relationship with veganism gained public attention when he famously sent YouTube user criticism. It's DC containing a vegan cookie recipe. Rapper now seems to fully embrace a vegan lifestyle. Alright, bro. That's not what. Hey, Jeans, y'all missed on that one, bro. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Give me a hug. Hey, I'm gonna be real. People saying this is the best song on the album. Like YouTubers, reactors, streamers, everybody's really messing with "Give Me a Hug." It's a rap, it's a rap style with like, gospel sampling like that. Like again, I love the song too, bro. Anything with gospel sampling or that old Southern vocals that you grew up on. You know what I'm saying? It's just gives you some nostalgia, makes you feel happy, makes you feel at home. So he uses that throughout the beat, and it's really upbeat, real energetic, puts you in that mode. You know what I'm saying? To get up and just dance around a little bit. But through all that, he throwing shots, man. This is the second song addressing the beef, I'm guessing, because he says, "Take a minute, take a deep breath, have a little bit of patience. Drizzy, you amazing, you the inspiration." But before that, he says, "Yeah, Drake, elimination, fake intimidation," right? "You set the bar for the next generation." I think he's hyping himself up, trying to get himself out of the slump that he was in, because people wrote him off. People tried to put him in a casket, saying his career was over. He's talking to himself internally, causing internal dialogue like, "Hey, man, Don't let them fool you. Don't let this year fool you or what they've been saying for you the past couple of years about your music, man. You are Drizzy and you're Drake for a reason. You're at the top. You set the tone and set the bar for this next generation. You're a legend, basically. You know what I'm saying? Trying to psych himself out of this slump he's in. And then he just addresses like the stuff about the beef, basically. You know, you Neo in the Matrix, these niggas just Nemo in the ocean, small fish making kids feel emotion. That sounds like a Kendrick diss, cause you know everybody says Kendrick make you feel right. Using for your promotion, truer words had never been spoken. I ain't gonna lie. When he says using you for your promotion, that was a UMG diss. Like that was a UMG bar. Cause I'm gonna be real. Everybody knows Kendrick definitely used him to surpass him and give him more motion than he ever had in his life. Definitely was a PR stunt by Kendrick. And I don't want anybody, I know Drake stands gonna hear this. I mean, not Drake, Kendrick stands are gonna hear this and be like, no, he could have been killed. I'm telling you right now, this was like the perfect time. He's very calculated. He definitely used Drake for promo. Like, if you don't think so, you just really not aware of the business that much. And that's okay. Because sometimes art and business should be separate. Y'all should just be focusing on the art, and you're probably not going to really like them for who they are if you really knew what they was doing for promo and business. Kendrick's monthly listeners is 96.8, bro. I never thought Kendrick would only be at 100,000 monthly listeners. By the way, it's phenomenal. For somebody who's a conscious rapper, I don't think I ever thought, like, listen to Big Crit, Wale, J. Cole, all of them. Any, just name them, right? Most Def. Like, I never thought they would be, like, superstar rappers. This Drake, this is past Drake numbers. I don't think Drake ever been at 96 million. Ever. I might be lying. But I never seen Drake at 96 monthly listeners. Drake is now at 76. Bro. What? Like, he's 20 million above Drake. 20 million above Drake. You know what I'm saying? So you can't tell me that that's not promo, right? And then he says, I appreciate the fans rocking with me. But before that, he says, niggas want to see RIP on my t-shirt like I'm Hulk Hogan. That's a bar. Like, Hulk Hogan used to rip his t-shirt in the arena. RIP me. Like, come on, bro. That was a bar. I appreciate the fans rocking with me. This is really just a small token. Really effing with a visionary. Only reason I ain't got no girl, I ain't getting married, because I really out here filling up the itinerary till I'm 6 feet in a cemetery. Right? Same thing. Him just really talking his stuff. Dirk's boy told me Marvin's Room was his favorite song. He was drilling to it. 1,000 niggas rapping murder, and like 10 niggas really that really do it. See, this is the stuff that people don't really like. Like, why does Drake have to reference murder or thug stuff in his stuff he's never been at, never was that, right? That's my problem with him too. But then he goes in saying, Savage, you the only real one that's checking on me when we really in some shit, brother. So he's telling right here, like, all the people went quiet on him last year, bro. Savage was the only one really trying to rock with him. Like, on public and behind the scene. So that's telling of who was really rocking with him last year. Who didn't want to touch Drake. He thought he was a hot stove. Melissa Ford, who's on the Joe Budden podcast. You a legend from the 6. Hate seeing you with a D sucker. Talking about Joe Budden. I saw that on the TL. I didn't know what was going on with that. I don't really dig into like podcaster beefs with rappers. It's kind of pointless. Tell Mike that the ceiling's too low and Booby. How he supposed to throw 100? So I think Booby Trap is Michael Jordan's. I think it's Michael Jordan's strip club. Oh no. Michael Markefa is the director of security at Booby Trap. Okay, never mind. So I guess that's where Drake be spending most of his time. Again, this track is like it's a highlight of the album for a lot of people because they say he addresses the beef in here a lot. Um, and I get it, but it was like slick jabs. I mean, he did say "F a beef, rap beef. I'm trying to get the party lit, trying to get the party lit for these bees," which is why he dropped uh SSS, right? And then he says niggas hating on the boy for sure. The woman in love, walking in the strip club. Damn, I miss you hoes. Give me a hug, give me a hug. And it's basically showing like where Drake spends most of his time, probably showing his music, spending his time with trying to get that female love that he probably desires and wants. And he be in a strip club. That's what I got from it. It wasn't nothing too crazy. Raining in Houston. It sounds like, something his dad would have hopped on. You know what I'm saying? His dad was like an R&B singer, old school R&B singer. Real slow with a jazz kick, um sample R&B song. Not really too big gonna talk about here. You can listen to it. It's just a slow sensual song. Related to the vibe, you know what I'm saying? Raining in Houston. Talk he loves Texas. So he's talking about how driving past A&M, you know what I'm saying? Um yeah, it's not too much here. Fits the vibe of the album though. So I'll give it like 7 out of 10. Lasers, none too really deep about this. Signature Party. Drake hops on this. I think this would have been done better just solo Party, because this is Party's bag right here. Um, Vogue, it's pretty promiscuous lyrics, pretty vulgar, pretty straightforward. Like talking about he's hitting his girl from the back while looking at her tattoo. He even gets in here and says, I'm having sex with you passionately while I'm having sex with you and making you fall back to sleep. I think have you heard Party Next Door 4, his last album? He talks about how he battles lust. A lot of Party Next Doors is him just having this battle with lust, trying to know like what is lust over love, what's love over lust, and trying to figure out that balance in between, or if there is any balance. And then Drake comes in, he talks about her getting beat, and he wants to see that dude who hit her, her ex, and he has no empathy for him. It kind of didn't fit the song, but I mean, I guess they're talking about, I don't know. I guess they're talking about a love interest where it's not fully a commitment, but they're seeing each other and they care about each other, but it's a confusing thing because it's full of lust. So they acting like a couple, but they're not. So yeah. So this song right here, bro. Does anybody know the artist on this song? It's a Latino artist. I don't know the name of this artist, but he must be a pretty affluent Latino artist, because I've seen people reacting online, and the Afro Latino community, they liking this. I think this song shows just the fun trolly side of Drake, that he doesn't want to be serious all the time, and I like that side. And if you know anything about Drake, he's always been doing this. If you forgot, Happy Ratchet Birthday, that was on Scorpion, then you know that he always been like wanted to have fun with music and not make serious songs all the time. He wanted to make troll songs, and he just did like a remix to "Hey There Delilah" with some Toronto comedian last year, and people was like, "Oh, he's trash." He dropped that after that, bro. After 15 years, bro, what else do you do, bro? You know what I'm saying? What do you just want to have fun? What if you just want to play the flute like Andre 3000? What about that? They was hating on Andre 3000, and he just got nominated for a Grammy for that album. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes fans just have this. They're boring, bro. Fans are boring. Like, even with Kenny, bro. Even with K-Dot. Like, when he was dropping that songs with Baby Keem and doing those dances where he was like, and I was like, they was like, what is Kendrick doing? It was like, why is he, what is this? He's like, come on, don't be patient, brother. They was like, he sound like a country, like a broke back country singer. Like, what's he doing? Like, but like, bro, like, what else can we do, bro? You know what I'm saying? Not we, but like them. Like, what else can they do, bro? They been in the game so long, they just trying stuff, and I think that's what Drake be doing too. So like, don't come into mind state that this serious, bro. He's obviously trolling. He's having fun. When he listens to this, he wants to laugh, and that's what you should do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Drake for. I didn't take this song seriously. I'm not gonna rate it because I get what he was trying to do. Now we getting into the hits of the album. This is a hit. This gives me old nostalgia 2000s R&B vibe. Aaliyah, Brandy, uh B2K, just like hip hop R&B, just fun, like who's calling it? Disney Channel vibes type, you know, oh, why is a 37-year? Oh my god. He was in that era, bro. If you wasn't born there, you wouldn't relate, you won't know. But he named it Nokia for a reason. Y2K era. He was a teenager during that time. I was in elementary school at that time. You feel me? Like it's fun, bro. It's just fun, bro. Chill. You know what I'm saying? It gives you that nostalgia. Like that's what I'm saying. This album gives you a nostalgia vibe, but it's a contemporary album. And the beat with the who's calling you? It makes you want to rock back and forth like you back in 2000. You know what I'm saying? Like doing the jig. So all my 90s babies, early 2000 babies, they know what's up when they heard this song. Is it key? Is it? So this is a hit. This is a radio hit. It's family friendly. You can play this at parties. You can play this at kids parties. You can play this on the radio. You can play this at the club. This is gonna be the next hit, I think. Baby girl, baby girl. I don't know. Is that Tizo touchdown? Let's see. Oh, so it's the producer on this. Oh, okay. So that's not Tizo. Got you. Yeah, this hook is fire, by the way. As a songwriting bit for Drake, and it got placed. So shout out to him, man. Shout out to people that make stuff and it get placed and they get compensated on the album. Shout out to that, bro. Second hit. Now, if y'all heard this song, it has no hip hop references in the song at all. It's straight indie. Something you probably saw was left field from Drake, but he dropped a whole club dance album 2 years ago. So at this point, Drake just want to try things, right? I'm not mad at it. I like to try things. And I'm not mad at him putting it out. That's courageous. So shout out to Drake. He actually put out a song and put Party on it, which I'm gonna be real. Party is so versatile that we've been waiting for him to get on stuff that is not contemporary alternative R&B. Like putting him in this pop indie space with Yebba on it was a great idea. I love the vibe of it. This is another hit, kid friendly, radio friendly, all of that. And it makes you feel good. It makes you feel light. It makes you feel fluffy. You know what I'm saying? Unserious, stress free, really good vibe. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people I've seen that don't like Drake, or like Party, they like this song from the album. So I think this is gonna touch a lot more spaces and expand into different avenues and genres. Great way to intricate yourself into other markets, and get on other playlists and other platforms, other radio stations. Great marketing scheme, and it's a good song. Like the content is real light, nothing too crazy like the rest, like nothing too sexual like the rest of the album. And Yebba at the end was just a great accent, cherry on top. She has a really great deep voice. You know, them people in Britain are just vocally trained really well. So yeah, a W for the song, bro. This song, another thing. It just feels like P&D 5 right now. Real in the pocket, real deep bass. Like I said, if you don't like Party, you're not gonna like this. You're not gonna like Party's parts or really the album. It's really heavy Party influence, but with Drake over it. Like Drake has accents of his style, but he's really like let Party's presence take over the album, especially with the beat styles. It's really his sound. It's the really the OVO sound. You can hear it a lot, influenced in here. But the part that really stood out to me, is Party's verse when he says, "But it don't pay well to fall in love." And it goes back into what I was saying earlier about Crying and Chanel, when they're in this lifestyle now where it seems like love is a price. Love is a price tag. And they have kind of created this atmosphere that they don't really know how to dig themselves out of it. And that's what it sounds like a lot of times with Party, a lot of times with Drake, a lot of the OVO sounds, the content of their music is centered around this lavish lifestyle they create for the females in their life to make them feel like a soft girl, to make them feel pretty, but it's usually all materialistic stuff that comes off sentimental. You know what I'm saying? But it's really just a lustful nature in at best. Um, so when he says it don't pay well to fall in love, is because when he falls in love, he be splurging, be broke. My man be like, nah, he don't be broke, but he be like, dang, my pockets is going thin. So nothing too deep about this song. I get this song like probably like a 6.5 out of 10. It's just because I can put on any party song and get the same content, get the same substance, get the same melody. So now we get Celibacy. This song is sounds like a plea for Drake to be with his partner or his situationship that is like might be one of his favorite side pieces or favorite girls or whatever. And it seemed like after 4 months it's been too long and he's like missing her intimate affection and he's basically pleading, bro. uh this song isn't really appealing to me because you have how many different girls that you can just get and don't have to worry about breaking somebody's celibacy for. It's kind of a weird take for me to digest. Like, what is it about this girl? Is it because she's not giving it up to you? Is that what's appealing? So it's just that what I'm thinking is something that is I can't really grasp because I never really pleaded for a girl to give up her celibacy. You know what I'm saying? And I probably gonna people think that's some simp activity, but I mean it's Drake. I mean that's something that he's usually up to. But the really highlight was Party. I think Party highlighted it really well on this track. I think he was the best part of the track. It gets into the beat switches up completely to a darker synth tone, and he talks about starts out with like, the concept of you and I take one night at a time. I like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? That is symbolism in itself, talking about us as a concept of something potentially being something great, but let's not get ahead of ourselves and just take it slow. Really like the subtleness of the lyrics, but at the same time being more upfront and direct. That's really good songwriting to me. But he's still professing like I love that we entwine together. I learned from mistakes from other girls that made it worse. You'll never take our kids away from me. We make it work. And when I saw this, I was like, Party got kids? Who knew that? And then it's more lustful to activities. Nothing too crazy. So this song, On My Way, pretty simple. Trying to get on his way to have sex. I mean, it's an R&B album. I mean, let's be real. If you didn't know about now, they're gonna be talking about sex a lot, bro. So this beautiful high synths plays back and forth like kind of like it's a one type of thing going on, and it's like a buzzing, but it's not an annoying buzzing, and it flows throughout the bass. It's like a 80s bass tone, like down, down, down. Really, really good mixing on this. Like for the last one, which was Celibacy, again that crunchy Drake voice I don't like, but this one seemed very level, especially Party's vocals on this was really well mixed, blended really well with the beat. Created some enhanced the song by how well it was mixed. Um, and it reminded me of Recognized by him and Drake. That's the vibe it got. This might be a really streamed song. Not really my forte because I've just heard so many songs like this from him and Drake that I'm not really that interested. But for new listeners, this is going to be definitely something they will keep in rotation. And this definitely like a background party song that you will play for like a turn up or you know what I'm saying, a prep before you go out to the club type vibe, etc. Glorious. Ice Spice influenced, and UK drill influenced, grime influenced, right? The samples in this song is phenomenal. The beat is phenomenal. The breath sample, like boo, boo, that's really dope in between. Drake does a really good job by letting the beat breathe itself and have his own take his own life, which I really like. Also adding Ice Spice into the element with her interview, which gives it this like he's talking about her in the side or in the background while she's talking about herself in the interview. It's pretty unique. Like adding that interview throughout instead of having it in the intro or the outro, he's playing the whole interview throughout the song while he's rapping about this girl. And you know, it's paying tribute to Ice, and I guess her being solidified in the game. Like you see right here, it says you see like in the parentheses that's Ice Spice, right? So he says, "Look at me. I know you see a cape because you one of them ones that's trying to get saved. I'm here. I appreciate like free gifts. I'm not gonna lie. Like, bro, like here's the thing. When you're an artist, you doing stuff so creatively that sometimes fans that aren't creatives cannot catch it. Cause they just listen to the song and vibing out or listening to it at work or listening to it in the car. They not really paying attention. But I'm an artist, so I can see stuff like that and appreciate it. Like he's saying, look at me, I see you got a cape because you one of them ones that's trying to get saved. I'm here. And Ice Spice is literally basically responding, but it's an interview. Like, I appreciate it. Like free gifts, I'm not gonna lie. Like she's responding to him, but it's an interview. And it kind of almost seems like this might be too far fetched, but it almost feels like like one of them crazy fans that like in love with like a celebrity. It feels like one of them things like he's talking to Ice Spice while watching her interview through the television or through YouTube. He's like, "Look, I can give you that," and she's like responding in the interview, and she don't even know he's there, and she's like, "Yeah, I would like free gifts." He's like, "Yeah, I can give you that." You know what I'm saying? It feels like that, and I know it's gonna sound weird, like he on some stalker vibe. I don't think that's it. It just feels like he a fan of her, and he's like fantasizing about being with her. And I don't know if he like actually likes Ice, but I think he's probably using that to create that like storyline, right? Now we into more like a little bit more substantive stuff, like how men really feel. Like this is more for like the men right here, right? Like when you dealing with a chick, right, and she starting out, y'all just started talking, y'all in a new relationship, it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting, and you find out months down the line she still got feelings for her ex, she still think about her ex, she still talking to her ex, and you're like, what the heck is going on? I thought you was, you know what? Let me know when he's gone out your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like parties like when he's gone, let me know when he's gone out your mind. You know what I'm saying? And basically like you and your man broke up and you ain't showing nobody love since him. It's been different. Gotta keep living. You say you don't need nothing, but tell me that you don't mean much. Cause you gonna keep a mean mug and try to go through it all alone and isolate yourself from me. And now I'm playing a guessing game by myself. What do you need? And this really shows Party's penmanship. Cause you have phases where you can hear songs where he's just being lazy and he's just saying things like at the end of Glorious when he was like, F me like fiend, I mean party fiend. It was like, it lacked effort, you know what I'm saying? But this song you could tell he really locked in on the concept and structured the song out really well and stayed on concept, stayed on the structure, stayed on track, and really well written, really well sang. And even Drake stayed on course and it made sense. It fit the vibe. And it was something that everybody could relate to. Like, man, when you gonna move on? When you gonna let me in? Let me know when you ready and when he's gone or she's gone out your mind. Now, Greedy, the last song of the album. This was a 21 track long, but it doesn't even feel long because the songs aren't that long, but this is a 6-minute song. And you feel it being long because it's drawn out. It's no beat switches except for really like a sample at the end a little bit. But for like 4 minutes straight, it's just a kick, a hi hat, some parts, and piano synths. And even though you would think that sounds dry and boring, it's really not because it's an R&B song. It's a true R&B, almost like traditional R&B style. Um, it's a real love song. Nothing too promiscuous, nothing too out, too upfront, nothing too lustful. It's just straight professing his love, heartbreak Drake, vulnerable Drake, even Party got involved, complimenting it with some of his stories in a time and place where he's been feeling left out and greedy for the love of somebody who he's yearning for. So this was like a good way to end the album because it brings everything full circle from start to finish. Some stuff was out of pocket, but this song brings it all together like a finished paper. It was the conclusion of the essay, and it was a really good compliment because you didn't need nothing too crazy at the end, right? It was a good way to just chill out at the ride at the end and enjoy the vibe. This is something you would play at nighttime. You know what I'm saying? Riding down with your shawty, riding down, just trying to chill out for the day. Think about your lover, think about people you care about. You know what I'm saying? And even the lyrics, man, was pretty on point, man. Talking about just the complexities of love. You know, uh, I'll be your lifeline. Just get offline. Leave your phone and look in my eyes. Boy, does time fly? It's just nighttime. Now the sun is about to rise, and I don't even know how it feels. Don't even know how it feels to be in love with me for real. Can't imagine how it feels to be in love with me for real. And then he says, can't even imagine how it feels to keep it real with me. Well, I still got issues I gotta deal with. Don't even know how you feeling. This is not conventional. This is not traditional. This is unprofessional. But these are my confessions though. Not no take care Drake, but it's definitely best I ever had S Drake. Where he was really vulnerable with the girl and open hearted, transparent. You know what I'm saying? That people loved him for. Thank me later, Drake. You know what I'm saying? And I think this was a good way to end the album. My conclusion on the album, 8.5 out of 10. And I'll say this. Just because there were some songs, and I'll name them, that were displaced, that didn't really conceptually make sense, like Mothballs, Brian Steele, Meet Your Padre. Well, it kind of made sense because it was still a love song, but it was like a troll song. And that was probably pretty much it. Everything else made sense for what you were getting. Like I didn't go in here looking at the title, assessing the cover, seeing what the vibe is, right? Seeing the location. They start out with seeing towers. That's great. I can visually see what's going on, related to the emotions, visually see the cover art related to the where they probably are, where they're experiencing these things, right? In the city of Toronto. And then from start to finish, even though there's some stuff that was disjointed, it stayed on track. That is a really good conceptual album. That's what you call a conceptual album. The theme was there. When I heard it, it made sense, and this is why I replay it. And if you know, I was pretty critical of Drake. It took me 3 or 4 years to get back here, man. People will tell you I did not like Certified Lover Boy. I did not like Her Loss like that. It was better than Certified Lover Boy, but I said Certified Lover. I was like, man, Drake he's teetering down. He's getting tired of making music. You know what I'm saying? For All Your Dogs has some replay value. I don't really listen to it that much. I still like loved it when it came out. I really liked it. I don't say loved it, but I really liked it when it came out. But this is definitely a better album than For All Your Dogs, for sure. Gave you some rap elements in it too. So if you was missing some rap Drake, he gave you that you can vibe to, about 2 or 3 tracks. The sampling was really good, especially if you're Black American, African American. You can relate to those old nostalgic sounds that he put in there. The sampling was A plus sampling. Beat was like a maybe a minus sometimes, because some of those beats, I like to add the mixing into the beats, but without the mixing it's an A. With the mixing of the vocals it's an A minus, maybe a B plus, just because I don't like that crunchy mix Drake. It doesn't make his voice perform very well to me on the mic. It sounds like really low quality, and it just sounds like when he tries to sing with that low quality, the auto tune fluctuates too much and gets him out of key, or it sounds too robotic. So that was my biggest critique. If you're looking for substance or don't. This is not the album, right? This is some sexy songs for you, right? This is going to be talking about sex. So if you don't want to hear a lot of sex, don't listen to it. Like I tell people about Chris Brown. If you don't want to listen to Chris Brown, if you don't want to hear about sex, do not open up a Chris Brown album. That's 20 songs of sex. Okay. R&B, so it's going to be a lot of singing, heavy bass. If you don't listen to R&B, you're not going to like this album. If you don't like Party Next Door, you're not going to like this album, even if Drake's on it. Drake doesn't really save him. It's heavily influenced by Party. But other than that, man, this album was solid, man. Great comeback. Also, I think Drake hit a milestone. I think he just beat Kendrick out for most streams on Spotify as a male rapper for this year. I think it was like he was at 92 or 93. Kendrick was at 93 million, and Drake is now at like 94 million or 95 or 96, something like that. I don't know, but I don't get into numbers. I like the art. I'm Lone Wolf. Thanks for tuning in, man. It's been a long time, but we finally made it to the end. Make sure you like, subscribe, and comment, and turn on that bell to get a noti when I post my next video when it's live. Y'all have an amazing week, and stay tribed up, stay loved up, and enjoy your life. Peace.